All right, so this is just a brief overview of our Flask work to this point, and I just want to go from scratch to build a basic little website with Flask like we did in class, and yeah, just kind of review some of the basics, okay? Here we'll create a home page, we'll add a navigation bar, and a couple of other pages. Just kind of very basic. So to begin, I created a new folder called Flask Tutorial. All right, this is where my application is going to live. In here, I'm going to have a Python file that I'll call app.py, and this is where my Flask code will live. And I'm also going to add a folder called templates where I'll keep my page templates. All right, more on that later. But to begin, we'll just start with a very basic app. The first thing that we have to do is import Flask. So we're bringing the Flask class in from Flask. We're going to create an application, and we do this by instantiating or creating an instance of Flask, and we'll just pass it this magic name function. Okay, this is a little bit of waving of the hands at the moment, but we'll continue to understand more about these built-in functions as we go along. And the last part is connected to this application. Like, then we want to run this application, and the way that we'll run this instance of Flask or this application is to just say if the name is main, then run that application. And I'm going to set debug to true. Okay, and there's the template for our application. Now in here we will put what page is here. Okay, so let's define, I'm going to define my home page, and I need to give it a root. So I'll say at app.root, and here my home page will just be with no, I mean, like this just means stay where you are, or like at the root of the site. And I'll say def home. And what I'll do is I will return just a string at first. All right, let's save that. And now I should be able to go to this page and see this rendered. So in my terminal, again, this is going to be important that I'm in the same, like when I look at what my working directory is, I'm in this Flask tutorial folder. And now if I look, I also have this app.py, so I can just say python app.py, and it looks like it's running, and it's running at this URL. So if I take a look at that URL, I see my home page. All right, and there's like the very basic. So you really want to try and practice just doing this from scratch. Look, it's not that much code. All right, I think the funny part to remember are these guys. And so just jot them down on a piece of paper or something, and try to get this routine down, like the important pieces of the recipe. You know, import the Flask class, create an instance, add root, and run it. All right, and the next one we'll do a little bit of styling and add a couple more pages.